Are you ready to learn some real life English with comprehensible input? Well, good, because today I'm going to bring you some everyday real life English by showing you differences between the daily life here in the United States and pretty much the rest of the world. Like the way that we measure things and even the kind of plugs that we use. Let's go. All right, guys, it is your English speaking friend, Kyle. And today we've got another great video full of very useful vocabulary and interesting things that you may not know, but can be very helpful when you travel to the United States or when you speak with English speakers. So, to start this video off, let's talk about a difference that really applies to myself and my family right now, because we are in, where are we, camera wife?
New house.
Our new house, okay? Our first house as a family that is actually ours. We bought this house, okay? And that is one difference that may be very different between here and a lot of other places in the world. Now, there are some places in Europe where many more people own homes than here. But in a lot of other places all around the world, it is much more common for people to rent apartment buildings or for many people in a family to share a home. We're blessed, guys, to be in our own home right now. We're super happy about that. That was just a fact that I wanted to share with you guys, and something that I'm excited about that I also wanted to share with you guys. We'll be doing a home tour soon, home tour video to show you guys the house and tons of vocabulary in all the different rooms that you'll find in a house. Let's check out some other interesting facts. Okay, guys, so another interesting difference between the US and most of the rest of the world is the way that we measure things. The way we measure things. And it's because we use a system called the imperial system that we got from England a long time ago, and we never changed it, okay? The rest of the world uses something called the metric system, okay? So, what does to measure mean? To measure 1 inch, 2 inch, or you guys would use 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters. So guys, this is called a tape measure. You use it to measure things. Right now I'm measuring my finger, the tape measure, and this tool tells you how long something is, okay? Tape measure. So guys, these up here are inches, and that's what we use to measure, 1 inch, 2 inch, and these are centimeters and millimeters, which pretty much everyone else around the world would use. So that's one of the differences with the metric system. We use inches and feet. This is 1 foot. 12 inches is 1 foot. You guys use centimeters, millimeters, and meters. So why does the US use this system still, even though the rest of the world uses the metric system and it's a more efficient and consistent system? Well, guys, money. Pretty much money, okay? Because everything we have here, all of the nuts and bolts, are used with imperial measurements, okay? The imperial system measurements. So that also means that all of the tools we have here use imperial measurements, okay? This is called a ratchet, and you use a ratchet to tighten bolts, nuts and bolts, okay? So, if we wanted to change from the imperial system to the metric system like the rest of the world, we would have to change every nut and bolt and change all of our tools, and that would be trillions of dollars. So, for that reason, we keep the old, outdated imperial system, and we're the only ones that do it. So not only do we use the imperial system to measure small things like inches and feet, but we use miles instead of kilometers. We use gallons instead of liters when you're measuring liquids. And as you guys have seen when I'm cooking in the kitchen, we use a lot of different measurements such as teaspoons, tablespoons, and cups. That's just the way it is, guys. That's just one more of the differences between the US and the rest of the world. Okay, so another difference between the US and pretty much the rest of the world that you might be shocked to learn has to do with electricity. Okay guys, that was a little joke or a little play on words, because the word shocked can mean surprised. I'm so shocked. That's such a surprise. But it also means when you get shocked by electricity, okay? If electricity hits you, we call that getting shocked, okay? So that is a joke, or what we might call a dad joke, because dad jokes are jokes that dads like me, fathers, say that are not very funny, and only the dad thinks it's funny. But this difference has to do with the electricity, or more specifically, the electrical outlets, okay? So, in the US, every outlet will look like this, okay? And the plugs, the things that we put into the outlet, look like this, like that, okay? And this is a tester to test if the outlet has power, if it has electricity. I am interested in learning about electricity, so my uncle bought me this to help me learn more. Very nice little gift. But anyway, this we would call a plug, and when you attach something to an outlet to get power, to get electricity, the verb we use is plugging in. So you would say, hey, can you go plug in the hair dryer for me, for example? So guys, if you come to the US and you're bringing something that needs electricity, something that you need to plug in, make sure that you get an adapter so that it will change to this kind of plug, or else you will be shocked to find out that you cannot use your electrical item. Guys, this is called a playground, and you'll find these at parks all over the place here in the US, and it's just somewhere where kids can come and play with their families. Tell me where you live, are there these all over the place? Because guys, there's probably 5 of these in every small city here. So that's not one of the differences I wanted to talk about. Just wanted to show you guys that and ask you, are these very common where you guys are from? So guys, this one has to do with the date. And today's date, as I record this, is June 29th. Okay, so June is the 6th month of the year. So the difference is how we write the date, okay? Now, probably when you guys write the date, you put the day, then the month, then the year, like this, okay? But here, we put the month, the day, and the year like that, okay? Now, why do we do that? It has to do with the spoken language, okay? In English, we say June 29th, 2025. So it's just because of the way we say it, that's the way we write it. All right, it is very hot outside, so I had to come back to my car and turn on the air conditioning to cool off. Cooling off is what we say when it's very hot and you want to maybe drink something cold, or go use a fan, or go inside where there's air conditioning. If there's air conditioning, we say, oh, it's so hot, I need to go cool off. So that brings me to the next difference. Air conditioning is everywhere in the United States, okay? Now I'm walking at this park and there's some buildings, and people are not even in these buildings all the time. They use them for storage or events. Sometimes people will have parties there. But as you can see, even these buildings have air conditioning units. These are air conditioners. These are the same kind of air conditioners that go on houses, stores, businesses. And guys, almost every house here, every newer house, will have one of these air conditioning units. All right, so another difference between the United States and many countries around the world is something called tipping. What is tipping? Tipping is when you go to a restaurant and you eat some good food. Tipping is when you give money to the person who brought you your food, the person that we call a waiter in English, okay? Now, tipping is not part of the bill. It is not part of the price that the restaurant charges for that meal. It is on top. It is extra, okay? It is extra that you are giving to the waiter, to the person who brought you the food, because there is a law here in the United States that restaurants only have to pay the waiters a little bit of money because they make most of their money from tips. From me, from you, from anybody who goes into the restaurant. I do not like this part of American culture, but I guess the government did it as a way to help restaurants stay in business because it is not easy for a restaurant to succeed here. So it helps them to save money by not having to pay the waiters, the workers at the restaurant as much because they make their money from tips. So the bad part is that we have to pay extra when we go out to eat. The good part is that if you are a waiter and you do your job very well, you're polite, you're friendly, and people like you, they will give you good tips and you can make some really good money. Some waiters in big cities and nice restaurants, they make really good money. So that part's pretty cool. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed those facts, those differences between the United States and most of the world. Tell me which ones you didn't know and which ones you knew about already. All right, now to end this video, guys, I want to do something special. You guys know that this is not just my channel. This is our channel, okay? And just as much as you guys like to learn about my culture, my language, the life here in the United States, I want to learn about you guys. So today we're going to do something that is very big culturally in a certain country I'll tell you about in a second, and we're going to learn some interesting facts about the country of Argentina. Okay guys, the country of Argentina. A subscriber told me something the other day that is a huge part of daily life in Argentina, and I was thinking, you know what? I've wanted to go to Argentina for a long time. I've watched shows, Argentinian shows on Netflix. I've eaten some Argentinian food. That's where I got this hat. I ate some empanadas in Chicago.
See the back of your hat.
And I had a really nice conversation with an older Argentinian lady. She gave me a discount on the hat and on my empanadas. They were so good. But anyway, there was one part of Argentinian culture that I have not tried yet, guys. Yerba mate, okay? So guys, this is a tea. It's a tea, and everybody in Argentina, from what I have heard and seen, drinks yerba mate, okay? This is a traditional cup, but the interesting thing, guys, it's made out of a vegetable, okay? This is called a gourd, and it's made out of one of these. This is the traditional way that they've been drinking yerba mate in Argentina for a long time. And this is called the bombilla. We would call this a straw in English. You drink it like this. So, you know, I've been speaking Spanish for years now, guys. I know a lot about Argentina. I know about the president. I know about some of the athletes. I know about a lot of things about Argentina. I keep wanting to say Argentina, guys. It's difficult sometimes when you're used to speaking about a topic in one language, now you're trying to do it in another one. Usually when I talk about Argentina, I'm doing it in Spanish. But anyway, we're gonna try the traditional drink, yerba mate, right now to celebrate Argentina. Let's do it. And they say to fill the cup or the gourd most of the way up. All right. And then it said with your left hand. Now this is what the instructions told me. Take your left hand, put it over the top, and shake. And this activates the secret powers of the mate, I guess. Smell that, camera wife. What's it smell like?
Like tea.
It smells like green tea. All right, guys. Now, the secret is you do not put in boiling water. If you remember from last week when I was cooking, this is what boiling means. Do not put boiling water, just hot water. This sink, this is a sink. If you watch my videos, you already know that's a sink. This water gets very hot, so I'm gonna let it get hot. Okay, while the water's getting hot, they say to shake the mate to one side, like that. Get it to one side of the gourd. Put your bombilla on that side. My wife's making faces because she's Colombian. She doesn't know. She doesn't know how to drink mate like I do and like my Argentinian friends do.
It's just interesting.
Okay guys, good and hot. Now we fill the gourd up. And there's our mate. All right guys, we're gonna let this sit for a few minutes. And while we let the mate do its thing and get ready, let's learn some interesting facts about Argentina. All right, fact number 1 about Argentina. Up to 97% of the population descends from European ancestors. Did you know that, wife? Almost everybody there descends from Europeans, Spaniards, Italians, etc., etc. But many many Italians. Why is that, camera wife?
I don't know, it's your video.
But you are from South America. You need to know these things. Camera wife doesn't know, guys, but I'll explain it to you. Because starting in around the year 1850, the Argentinian government offered citizenship and fertile land to farm to European immigrants because they needed workers to work this land and help improve the economy. And back then, Argentina had a very strong economy until politicians messed it all up, because that's what politicians do best. Now, this was a very attractive offer for the Europeans because many people were trying to get away from what, wife?
Baby, I'm making your video. I'm trying my best to do your video, and I'm not thinking, I'm not listening even right now.
Okay, guys. The Europeans were trying to get away from World War I and later World War II. There was a lot of bad stuff going on over in Europe, and the Argentinian government was offering them a great deal to come over here, get good jobs, work the fertile land, farm, and make a better life for their families. So many of them did it, and for that reason, there's people all over Argentina speaking Spanish, but they look like me. Pretty cool. All right, guys, before we get to the next Argentinian fact, let's try this mate. It's been sitting here for about 5 minutes. I think it's ready. Smells great. That's strong. This is the strongest tea I've ever tried in my life, guys. Argentinians, tell me what you like about this, okay? It tastes like a green tea, but it's more bitter. Green tea has a smoother taste. This is really strong. Maybe that's what you guys like about it, because I like a very strong coffee. So I think that there is caffeine in this. I think there's a lot of health benefits like antioxidants. So I'm gonna drink my mate. Let's get back to some Argentinian facts. Next interesting fact about Argentina. What's that face for, camera wife?
Because I was saying.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
I thought that was a bird. Quit messing with me, camera wife. Next interesting fact about Argentina. Soccer is not their national sport, okay? Now I say soccer because this is an English video, and here in the United States, we call this sport soccer. I know everybody else calls it football, and in other countries they probably have a different word for it, but everybody in South America calls it football. Everybody in Europe calls it football. We call it soccer for some reason. Now, why would you think that soccer is the national sport? Well, because Argentina has had some of the best soccer players to ever live, okay? This guy is one of the most famous people on earth. Who's this guy, wife?
Messi.
Messi. There's not a picture floating in the air, but he's so famous my wife knows what I mean. Messi and many others in the past. Their actual national sport is called pato, and it's a strange sport. It looks kind of strange to me. It's almost like basketball, but you ride a horse. Baby, have you ever heard of this sport?
No.
Looks kind of cool. You'd probably like it because of the horses. But anyway, I wonder if their pato players are as good as their soccer players. I hope so. Okay, guys, the last fact about Argentina, and my favorite one, is they are the largest consumers. They consume more red meat than anybody else in the world. Red meat meaning beef, the meat from a cow. And I think I'm Argentinian, guys. I think I might be Argentinian because I love beef. Something about beef just makes me feel so good when I eat it. The Argentinians feel the same. Their famous meal is called asado, and it involves steak, ribs, and sausages, and it looks delicious. I want to go to Argentina so bad, guys. It's just a really far flight, but that is on my bucket list. And what is a bucket list, wife?
I can't explain it.
I'm sorry, baby. My wife's tired. We've been moving all our stuff in this house. I'm sorry for picking on my wife. A bucket list is the things that you want to do before you die. So I want to go to Argentina way before I die. I want to go soon. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the differences between the US and most of the rest of the world. And shout out to my Argentinian viewers out there. I appreciate you guys. Argentinians, tell me in the comments, all right? Tell me, say, hey, Argentina's here. Viva Argentina, che. All right, guys, appreciate you all so much. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.